Hi, I'm Mark. This is my July review for Virgo Sun Sign and Virgo Rising. It's quite a difficult start to the month for you, Virgo, because you've got Mars transit in your 12th house. When Mars goes through the 12th house, it brings up anything that you've been avoiding or anything you've been putting off. Also, it can have an impact on your health. It can also make you very sleepy and in need of rest and recuperation. On the first, it makes an aspect to Chiron, so there could be wounds from the past that come up. There could be things that you've avoided paying attention to, and now it's time that you do that. And also on the 4th, the Sun makes a square to Chiron, so the Sun's in your 11th, so there could be issues with friends, past hurts, wounds with friends that also need attention. On the 5th, it'd be a good day to give yourself a little bit of excitement or a new adventure to take your mind off things. Also, there's a good aspect between Venus and the Moon's North Node. So this is your path forward, your journey forward. So there could be some good news, or someone could say something, point you in the right direction on this day. There's just one thing to be careful of: is a square between Mercury and Neptune on that day, and sometimes you can get a little bit confused or a little bit misunderstood, so perhaps just keep your eyes and ears open and be alert on that day. Between the 6th and the 8th, Venus makes 3 aspects. Now Venus is also in your 12th house, so it's not a good month with these 12th house planets because there's a lot coming up from the unconscious or things you haven't dealt with springing up out of the blue. And this could happen again on the 6th with this opposition with Saturn. Saturn is about responsibilities. So there may be responsibilities that you've not taken up or avoided that will now come back to haunt you. It's a little bit more harmonious on the 7th because there's a positive aspect to Chiron, so this will help to ease things. But then there's another challenging aspect on the 8th when Venus squares Uranus. So this is in the work area, the career area, so again there could be some issues that come up here from the past that you need to deal with. On the 10th we have a new moon. It's in Cancer and in your 11th house. The new moon in Cancer is about emotional clearing, so it's perfect time to get rid of those old emotions that are still hanging around inside. Also with the 11th house, the new moon is about networking. It's about turning your energy to fruitful connections and contacts with people. This can be privately and in business, so it can be friends, also colleagues and people you work with, but also it's good for setting new goals. These could be group goals, it could be group involvement featured here now, and where you stand within a group could be highlighted. On the 12th, Mercury moves into your 11th house and makes a positive aspect to Jupiter. So this is perfect timing to put all those ideas from the new moon into practice and to start communicating and networking with people. Also on the 12th, Venus catches Mars. Now normally this can be a very romantic and a time of love, but because they're both in your 12th house, this might not be the case. You might have very vivid dreams about love and relationships, but it may not materialise on the outside. The Sun makes 2 aspects, one on the 14th, one on the 17th. 14th, it makes a positive trine to Neptune. Now this is good because Neptune's in your 7th house of others, so you'll be very willing to help others. You'll be very compassionate to other people and feel for them. You also have the Sun in your 11th house, so this is a time you can help friends. And you could, in a group situation, this would be great for group meditation. You may have a spiritual experience within that setting. On the 17th, there's a more difficult aspect because the Sun makes an opposition to Pluto. Now Pluto's in your 5th house, so this could be a power struggle between freedom and independence and the closeness of others. Again, it's your 11th house that's involved here, so there could be struggle with friends or with colleagues about how much freedom or how much control there is within these type of relationships. On the 18th, Jupiter makes a square aspect to the black moon Lilith. This lasts for 10 days and this will highlight the shadow, because Jupiter enlarges everything it touches. Now, with the black moon during this 10-day period, moving signs and houses from Taurus into Gemini and into your 10th house. Now, the shadow cast while the black moon Lilith is in Gemini is one of acceptance, and we have to learn that we don't need the approval and the acceptance of others, that we can be a human being and exist in our own right. And that's the lesson to be learnt in Gemini. Now, the lesson in the 10th house for you, Virgo, is one of responsibility. Taking responsibility for your own actions regarding the recognition and the respect you get from other people. Now, the 10th house is all about our status, and the object is to improve status without trying to control and manipulate other people, because if you do this, it will only backfire. On the 19th, Mercury makes two aspects. One is to Chiron, and this is a day when you'll be more empathetic and more understanding of others and their wounds and their hurts. Maybe friends, because Mercury's in the 11th house. And also it's a day when you can have some fun and excitement, because Mercury's other aspect is to Uranus. So again, it could be a day when you spend with friends and try something new, have an adventure, and really you'll be mentally stimulated in this day, so you'll be loving and wanting to communicate with everyone. On the 22nd, there's more planetary movement. The Sun moves into Leo, that's your 12th house, and Venus comes out of the 12th house and moves into your sign in the 1st house. Now, at this time, they both plug into that aspect between Jupiter and the black moon Lilith. Now, the Sun will give light, it will shine light on the shadow, and you'll be able to see clearly what needs to be done and what you need to work on. Venus, on the other hand, will soften things down, but under these conditions she can be tempted, because Jupiter expands her desire and the black moon is her playmate, so just make sure you have sound judgment. On the 24th, there's a full moon. The full moon is in Aquarius, and this is in your 6th house. Now, the 6th house is concerned with daily routines, and with this full moon you might come out with phrases saying, oh, I'm going to quit my job, I'm fed up with my job, or I'm going to quit smoking, or I'm going to change my diet because I'm fed up with the way I'm eating. There's a lot of these statements that can come out of this full moon, but it doesn't have to be that drastic. You can put good changes into force. The 6th house with this full moon is about brightening up your life, not only your life but other people's as well. And it's to do with your daily routines, your daily work, so it's good to perhaps brighten up where you work, or just go a different route to it, a more pleasant route. I mean, you might be able to take in some of nature's scenery. In Aquarius, it's about being part of a bigger picture. It's about being more humanitarian, and this is a very powerful full moon because it's at 1 degree, and this is also about having some fun. Having fun in Aquarius, and having a party. Then we have Neptune and Mercury make an aspect on that day, and that's in your 11th and 7th house. So it's a good time to get involved with people and to have some fun with people. On the 25th, there's an opposition between Mercury and Pluto, so this is a good day to look at and investigate the things that were brought up the previous day on the full moon. And they'll need thorough investigation before you move forward on anything, because Neptune Pluto is often a sign of propaganda or misfed information, so it's best to check everything out thoroughly. Then on the 28th, Mars makes an opposition to Jupiter. Now, this is an interesting one because Mars is right at the end of your 12th house, right at the end of Leo, and on the 30th moves into your sign Virgo, so you will receive benefit when this happens, because Mars in Virgo will give you a boost of energy, and you'll be able to go full out. This is the sign of a workaholic, Mars in Virgo, so you'll be able to get on and do everything you need to. But for the time being, it's best just to take it a bit easy, because Mars at the end of the 12th house may still throw things up that you're unaware of, and this is going to be right across your ascendant descendant. So Jupiter's sitting on a descendant. So this could cause issues within relationships, and it's almost like you against others. So it's this one needs delicate handling. Also on the 28th, Mercury moves into Leo and your 12th house, but immediately forms an aspect to the Black Moon Lilith. Now, this can bring up obsessive thinking, this can bring up negative thinking. If this happens, then you need to look at the issues and you need to deal with them. Then on 28th there's more frustration. Mars makes a square to the Black Moon Lilith, and as you know, it's already opposite Jupiter, we just spoke about that. So that makes a T-square, which is very challenging at challenging times. It's going to be frustrating. On the same day, Venus makes a square to the North Node, so you'll feel frustrated. You'll feel that your path isn't opening up and that you can't go along in the way that you want to and progress. The best way to deal with this is to look at the empty space on the square, which will be opposite the Black Moon Lilith, which is your IC. It's your home area, it's your past. So concentrate energy on there. Look to the past, look at your past experiences and see where you may have dealt with this before. And also focus on the home, focus on being pleasantly surrounded at home by people and objects that you like. Concentrate energy on that, and that will turn the challenging energy of the T-square into a positive energy of a Grand Cross. On the 30th, Mars is in your sign Virgo, and this will give you that boost of energy needed. The Sun is still in Leo and will be for some time, but next month the Sun moves into your sign, and that will really get things going. But at the moment, in the 12th house, it's best to work behind the scenes for a lot of the time. Okay, Mars wants you to push forward outside, but you're going to have to balance this because the Sun is lagging behind and still needs to do preparatory work. With the aspect on the 31st to the Moon's North Node, there's an opportunity to look at where you are, look at where you stand and where you want to be going forward, because the North Node is our way forward. So it's an opportunity to analyse where you want to be going forward, and then use the Mars energy to direct yourself in that way. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and if you'd like to leave a message, I'd love to hear from you.